Okay, now we're going to do elbow, passive range of motion, measurement of flexion range. So it's very similar to the knee. What we're going to use for our landmarks is our radial styloid process at the wrist, so just proximal to the wrist joint on the radial side. And then we've got our radial head, which is that one that's quite palpable, just distal to the joint line. You can find the joint line right there before the humeral condyle. And then at the top, they'll always say the acromion is your landmark, but most people's shoulders are a little too protracted to actually use that properly. So I would just use the long axis, I just go parallel to that humerus there. So same deal, you want to put your stationary arm on the proximal segment, but what will happen if you've got a full round one, if that's what you've got, you're going to find there's not enough room. So you're going to want to put a rolled towel underneath the elbow. Okay, so that way I'm going to be able to fit my goniometer in, ideally kind of tucked in so it's right out of the way, but that way I can see that he's got full elbow extension. If he didn't, I would have to measure that to find out where his starting point is. But I'm going to say, okay, he's got full extension. Let's measure what flexion he has. So let's in this case do a little bit more than 90 degrees. Let's say that he's gotten out of a cast and he can get to there. Okay, so let's now put our goniometer on. So we're going to line up with that humerus. We're going to find the joint line, and remember the axis of rotation changes a bit when you move, so you're going to have to palpate that again. And then you're going to line this up with your radial styloid process, which is right there. So that's pretty good. Remembering goniometry is an art, not a science, but it's not bad. So let's have a look at what range he has there. So this time thinking about, yes, we wound up there, but let's look at what our zero is. It's here. So if this is our zero and we're coming around to here, that was 120 degrees of passive elbow flexion.